I'm gonna share with you a way to reduce a little bit some of the ghosting we see in Motion and Alan Wake 2 when using this new frame generation mod. And credit to this video goes to the user Skyro1986. He tells me, hey, give this a try. It reduces some of the ghosting, and the thing is, we might be able to find a similar setting in the config file for Unreal Engine games. So if you know that, let me know. I'm gonna be, playing around with the config file in some of the games to see if I can find a way to reduce the ghosting, because frame generation is absolutely amazing and there's always gonna be some downsides. I'm okay with it, but if we can improve it a little bit, that would be awesome. So right now, for example, we can still see ghosting, but I'm going to show you after I reverse the changes, it becomes just way worse and a lot more noticeable. So right now, even after the fix, if I move the camera very fast, you can see, like, you see this size on this corner of the screen, you see this line here where you can see ghosting, and it's really, really bad. And you can also see some faint ghosting surrounding the character, but it is not terrible. You see the face is like right here, it's like this size, okay? But it's not terrible. Wait until you see when I turn this off. It's horrendous. Okay, so let me share with you what I'm talking about here. This is what you have to change. Let me reduce the brightness here because this is too much for the camera. So you have to change this render config file. So you have to find this renderer config file. So you just go to your C drive, okay, where the config files are, and then you have to change this MB lens distortion. You have to change that to false. B lens distortion, this one, you have to change that, change it to false, and that's what I'm talking about here. It improves the ghosting dramatically. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm going to I'm gonna pause the video and I'm gonna turn it back to true, and you will see the difference. Now take a look at the difference. This is like a monumental change. If we can find this same for Unreal Engine games, the difference is gonna be huge for a lot more games. So take a look at this now. Now the ghosting is just horrendous. Okay, we're talking about almost unusable. Look at this. We have 1, 2, 3 ghosts of the character, plus this line, plus after the line we see more ghosting also. Look, do you see the character after the line? It's like 5 ghosts. This is really, it looks really broken. Really broken. This is atrocious. And also, to the other side of the character, there's also ghosting. So not only on the trailing edge, but also on the leading edge, we see ghosting. This is, I mean, ferociously broken. Okay, so bad. Look at this thing. This is like one of the worst ghostings I've ever seen. Look at this. And it is all fixed. Most of it, okay? We still see some ghosting, but most of it is fixed by just changing this config file. So as you can see here, what I did was I just reversed the config file to the default. This B lens distortion, I changed that to true, which is the default, okay? So turn that off. Just change it to false, and you see the difference is absolutely gigantic. And as you can see here, I'm using DLSS. I hope you can see it. It's very small, but I'm recording at 4K, so hopefully the camera can focus here. DLSS frame generation through. You can see the rest of the settings here. Yeah, I'm not gonna play the game, so these are not my optimized settings or anything like that. I just installed the game to show you this, to test this, and to show you that. So now, the thing here is, if you know a way to something similar for Unreal Engine, and the reason Unreal Engine is so important is because most of the games that we get are Unreal Engine games. For example, I cannot wait to play Black Myth Wukong, okay? And yeah, it's gonna have FSR 3, okay? But this mod is still gonna be relevant because if I can mitigate the ghosting and use DLSS with frame generation from AMD, I might be getting the best of both worlds. I get the best upscaling with DLSS, so it looks the best, and then I get the frame generation. So that's what I'm interested in. I much rather get DLSS with frame generation, even if it is not as good as native FSR 3 with frame generation, just because the upscaling is better. Okay. So yeah, I'm very, very interested in that. But I'm not gonna play the game. Okay, you see, you know how I feel about Alan Wake. So let's leave it there. Okay. I just install it again to make this video. Share this. Maybe you do like the game, you wanna play it, or you just wanna test it out. And yeah, this is very, 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 very bad. I mean, this is like the worst ghosting I've ever seen. Okay. So yeah, that's Alan Wake for you. One of the best graphics of the year and all of that. So yeah, I'm very excited. I've been testing this mod in many games. I worked really nice in RoboCop. Worked very well. I tested it in Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's not working for some reason. Then I tested in Ratchet and Clank. It was working, then it started crashing. I have to figure out what's going on with that. So yeah, it is hit and miss. But I have to figure out why is it missing sometimes. Like for example, in Dying Light 2, it didn't work at all. Somebody else told me that it was not working for him either. So it would be cool if you tell me, hey, these are the games that I tested. Tell me the list of games where you tested this mod, and if you know why it's not working sometimes, and if you know the solution. So why is that it's not working sometimes for some of these games that support Nvidia frame generation? That's what this mod is for, okay? Games that support Nvidia frame generation. If you have an RTX card that doesn't support frame generation from Nvidia, you can use this mod, and it basically replaces that frame generation from Nvidia. It replaces that for the AMD frame generation. And by the way, this proves that AMD could easily allow you to use DLSS and the frame generation from them. They said, no, it is not possible because this or that. That's not true. And the reason we know it's not true is because it is working right now. Okay? So these companies just keep lying to just sell their products, and it's wrong, man. It's wrong. Like if you can give me a better, and AMD especially, they want to be like, oh, we are open source and we want the best for all gamers and this and that. Why are you trying to lock the frame generation component of FSR 3 to people? So to Nvidia users, that they have to use FSR 3 if you want the frame generation. That's not right. Why? Let me use DLSS and let me use the frame generation from FSR 3. Why not? It is possible. It is working right now. So yeah, they are both greedy, big, evil corporations. Okay, let's not be fans here. It's just about making money. But I don't understand why they, keep lying about this stuff when we know it is not true. The optical flow accelerator and all of that thing is all a lie. Okay, it's just, yeah, the technology might be there, the hardware might be different, it might not work. The frame generation from Nvidia might not work as good on the 20 and the 30 series as it works on the 40 series because the optical flow accelerator is more advanced or more powerful. I understand that, but it should work. Okay, I'm sure it should work, and they just don't want it to work. So thanks to this mod, middle finger to Nvidia, we got it working, and this is just a way to improve it in Alan Wake 2. Let me know if you know ways to improve it for Unreal Engine games or for other games. Let me know. I'm all ears. And let me know if you have any questions. Link in the description of the video again to this mod, and check back to the same link because this user keeps updating it. So maybe some of those games are crashing right now, or they are not even working. Maybe with an update it will work. Okay, so we need to keep the games updated, and the GPU drivers, well, maybe Nvidia is gonna block that somehow. But for now, we can update the GPU drivers. Let's just save the old ones. I mean, you don't need to save them. You can always download them back from their website. But yeah, keep everything updated to see if you can get more games working with this. So let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.